All right, everybody, it's Old School Nerd. Welcome in. We were teased, we were warned, we were promised, and here we are. As you guys know, huge fan of Kristin Starkey, the New York girl that lives in Sweden. She's in the band Temperance. She's an incredible vocalist. I think she has a doctorate in vocal performance. Yeah, like a PhD. Like, not only is she classically trained, technically, I believe she can teach it to anyone. And I know that a lot of people have benefited from her collaborations and the work she's done. Most important of all, she's a great person and an incredible vocalist, like we said before. She's done collaborations with Tommy Johansson. One of my favorite Christmas songs of all time is the cover of Kristen and Tommy's Fairy Tales of New York. You guys know that. Kristen is also one of those people that when she sings, somehow she can hit these powerful, epic, vocal blasting, belting notes and not even look like she's trying. I don't know how she does that. Her and Floriansen do it easier than everyone. They hit these ranges and this volume, vocal, expressive level, and it looks like they're barely even trying, and it drives me nuts. Now that I've said that, let's talk about Alone. You guys know that Alone is one of my favorite songs of all time. It is a cover done by Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart. Of course, you guys, some of you may not know, the original is done by a band called I-10. And of course, it's made famous by Heart. A lot of people cover this song, similar to people doing covers of Meatloaf. I would do Anything for Love, but I won't do that. Things like that. It's one of those quintessential songs that if you are a power vocalist, at some point, you got to do the cover so people can compare and contrast. Why? Because we're analytical creatures and we have to put things side by side. For me, I just love watching how different artists approach this. And I'm going to explain a couple things. I'm going to use two other examples, and I want people to hear me. The first one was Tommy's version. Tommy does the vocal of Alone, and he also does the guitar part of it, because of course, Tommy is an incredible instrumentalist as well as a vocalist. And then the one that has probably had the most votes on my channel and views on my channel was the one that Floriansen did a couple years back. The difference between this one and Floor is people have already told me that Kristen does both parts, the melody and the high harmony, which is awesome, and it's a different approach. The one that most people are going to compare this to is going to be Floriansen's version, and I don't want people to do that because it's not fair. A lot of people gave Floriansen a little bit of grief on her version of Alone because she did a full, clean vocal. She sat in her studio with her mic and did a full clean with no backing harmonies. It's just the melody. So people felt, man, if only you had done it, both parts and da-da-da-da, but that wasn't what she was trying to do. Kristen is going to do both parts. She's going to record the high harmony that's done by Nancy, and she's going to do that low resonance power vocal that Ann is known for. This is what I want to see. I have yet to see a vocalist do it the way Ann does it. People say, Floriansen does Alone like Ann Wilson does. She does not. She does part of it the way Ann Wilson does. What made Heart so wonderful is Ann had a sultry, rich, power alto. I know that everyone waits for the big belting note in the middle that leads up to that chorus. That's not the key to Ann's performance. The key to Ann's performance is her rich, low-end resonant tone. Most vocalists forget that, or they can't do it. I want to see how Kristen does this. Are you ready? You're not. I've talked enough. I'm going to do my intro, and then we're going to listen to this. I'm going to try not to stop it, but you know I will because, well, I'm an idiot.
I hear the ticking of the clock. I'm lying here, the room's pitch dark. I wonder where you are tonight. No answer on the telephone.
That's the Ann Wilson.
And the night goes by so very slow. Oh, I hope that it won't end alone. Tomorrow, I was got by and I know I never really got into love and show. And now I choose me to the ball. How do I get you alone? How do I get you alone? You don't know how long I have wanted to touch your lips and hold you.
There it is. That's the end low.
Oh, you don't know how long I have waited, and I was gonna tell you tonight. But the secret is still my own, and my love for you is still unknown. Alone.
Here it comes. Yeah, I'm gonna get Kristen looking very angry at the camera because I stopped it, and she's like, "Can't believe you stopped it!" Ah! So I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that to her. That was just let's there we go. That's better. Okay, now she just looks like she's in pain. Okay, so I did stop it, and there's a reason why. Because finally, someone does the arrangement closest to the hard version. You need to go back and listen to it. There's a couple things at play here. And I know I tell this story every time I do a reaction to someone who does a vocal cover of the original Heart song version, and it's this. In the 1980s, when Heart did their cover, there was a couple things going on behind the scenes that absolutely piss me off to this day. And I think to this very day, music in culture and MTV and the way the world worked really did Anne wrong. They never showed her in videos except for just her face or long distance shots or little blips from a different angle because she was a full-figured woman in the 80s, and back then that was not accepted. This is way before Adele, way before a regular, normal, whatever normal is, whatever regular means. Anybody in any shape can be a goddess of vocals. And back in the 80s, they screwed Anne over. They would only show her from the neck up. Go back and watch this video, you'll catch it. Now they showed Nancy all the time because Nancy was in shape, and they put her in those jackets, and they always had her wearing a bustier, and they made her the sex object of the group. Anne is just as gorgeous as Nancy. They're both beautiful sisters, but it also in the vocal. The original is if you go back and listen to the I-10 version, it's I-10, T-E-N. I-10 originally makes this song. It is a very melancholy, low, almost sad song. It's very drawled out. It's very low end. And Anne approaches this, and Kristen does the same thing. That low end in the verse leading up is very important. Kristen does it very similar to the way Anne does it. Now, in the mix, the way you see Kristen mixing this, the way she had it mixed was she has the low end power vocal in what's referred to as a P1 or a priority one in the in post mix, which means she's going to be the loudest point in the song. Now, a lot of times, especially in the 80s and especially with Heart, they would put Nancy's vocal at a 1B. So they'd have Anne at 1A, Nancy at 1B, which you would think that would put Nancy lower in the queue. No, Nancy should have been at a 2 in preference to priority of the mix. That's normally where you put your harmonies. You put them behind the lead. But for Alone and a lot of the music that Hart put out in the 80s, Ann would do the lead in a lot of the songs, but they would put Nancy's harmonies at the same level in the gain or the post mix to where when they would sing, it would sound like one voice layered, almost like a dub, but it was Nancy going super high and staying in that power rich alto, which gave the song the weight it needed, the passion it needed, with that 80s, everyone that sings metal has to be Bruce Dickinson high. In this case, Kristen does it the way that is best for her. I can hear in the mix that Nancy level high mezzo, sometimes touching soprano level harmony. And Kristen can do it without even trying. And she does that, but she puts it in a proper two. So that way it doesn't sound overproduced. Kristen is trying to show her vocal cover of this song. If she puts her dubbed harmonies in the 1B and her primary in the 1A, it will sound like it's overproduced and they'll be at equal level. And when you'll hear it, she's trying to make sure that you understand the lead melodic stays in the primary and you can just barely hear that super high harmony in the background. If you go back and listen to Hart's version, they put Nancy right up to Ann, and it, because there were two different vocal tones, it worked. A lot of people that have tried to do a cover of this song, they do both parts, they put them both almost close to the same gain level in the post mix, and it sounds a little vocally muddy. Kristen is trying to pay homage to having Nancy's upper level harmony in it while still keeping it further back in the gain, actually a little bit behind the instrumentation. So you have it, but it doesn't muddy her vocals, so you can enjoy the rich low alto. All right, so now that I've talked for 15 minutes about what I'm hearing, let's continue, because that note, that belt before that second chorus, a lot of people that do covers of this song tend to go super high. That is not the way Hart did it, and stayed in that mid-rich level. And what you were hearing, people just have a tendency to go super high. You don't have to. That's not the way it was written. The idea is to just be, it's steady, it's controlled. And then what people think they remember is they think they remember Anne going high on that belt. And then when she says, till now, always got by on my own and it chills me to the bone. I never really cared until I met you. Yeah, all that part, that little tag before the how do I get you alone? People think that belting note goes high. It does not. It stays in the range of the mid melody. And then Nancy's tags in the lead up to the chorus and then in the down hits of that chorus are super high with Anne. People think that it's a Mandela effect. They think they heard Ann Wilson go super high on that belt tone. She doesn't. Go back and watch it. She stays in that rich mid. Kristen knows this. Kristen did it perfectly, exactly like Ann did it. It's probably going to be one of my favorite covers of this. And I saw Kristen playing guitar. Is she going to do the solo? And I think it's going, tag, Tommy, I win. For those who do not know, Kristen and Tommy are really good friends. They've made many collaborations together, and I can't think of two better vocalists with two better communities than those two. It's just amazing. All right, I'm done talking. Let's finish this out. In the mid. Only the harmony goes high. Perfect. Yeah, she makes everything better. Couple takeaways. Yes, so she does stay in that primary vocal range that Anne stays in. She doesn't try to overblow it and go super high and just make it like everyone else does it. She does it properly, which if anyone's going to do it properly, it's going to be Kristen. Also, you do get to hear her range in the background very subtly. Props to the guitar solo. They didn't just show her rocking out, holding a guitar, sort of playing it. They did close-ups of her fingerwork on the fret, showing the individual notes, the individual tags, taps, and those manipulations. So yeah, if you're going to sit there and you're going to play the guitar solo, whoever shot this said, okay, we don't want people to think she's like limp syncing guitar playing, like air guitar playing just for a video. We want to show that she is properly doing the notes for the video to show that she's learned this song. And I think that's really awesomely done. Outstanding work. Of course, everything Kristen does, I really enjoy. I love Temperance, and that's a crazy band. Please check that out. But so anyway, for those who do not know Kristin Starkey, please check her out. All of her information will be in the description below. As I've always said, she's one of my favorite artists, whether she's doing originals, whether she's doing stuff with her bands, her collaborations are epic. So yeah, overall, yeah, power vocalist from New York, now living in Sweden. Oh, and congratulations. I don't know if you guys noticed, it shows Kristin Starkey, but if you go to all of her social media, there's some kind of weird name with a C or something on the back end. I think some guy finally met her standard, and now she's an honest woman. Not saying she was ever lying. No, I'm not stupid. I don't want to wind up waking up and one of those demon things she wears shows up in the night and stabs me. It could happen, man. I don't know. Maybe vocals aren't her only superpower. Stranger things have happened every day. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.